There's a strong link between eating fermented food and having a healthy microbiome. If we have a healthy microbiome, which is otherwise known as our gut flora, we're less likely to experience things such as anxiety and depression, and some skin conditions like psoriasis, and also we're more likely to maintain a healthy weight. Hi, I'm Monique. I've been teaching fermentation for 4 years now, and today I'm in the vice grow tent and I'm going to show you how to make sauerkraut as an introduction to fermentation. First up, what is fermentation? So fermentation is the transformation of food by beneficial bacteria. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to take off some of this outer leaf. I'm going to save this. So we're going to take out any core that might be left in the cabbage. I'm going to save this as well. Then we're going to slice this up nice and finely. So now we've got our cabbage in our bowl. This is when we would add whatever flavor we would like to use, and also the salt that we're going to use to help ferment this cabbage. You can use anything from ginger to like other vegetables and seeds as well. So I've got mustard seeds, fennel seeds, caraway. You could also use cumin, coriander seeds. If you're using other vegetables to flavor your sauerkraut, it's best to keep the cabbage at about 75% of the total ferment. In terms of seeds, if you've got like say half a cabbage, I would use about 2 teaspoons of any kind of seed. If you have more than one seed though, maybe just use a teaspoon of each. Last thing, I'm going to use a little bit of pepper. Now in terms of salt, you can use any kind of salt. I prefer fancy salt because I'm fancy. Alright, so once we've got all our ingredients in and the salt, this is when we get like pretty intimate with our cabbage and we start trying to squash this up to draw out the water from the cabbage. So we know our cabbage is ready to stuff into a jar when it's wet like a dripping sponge. And the way we put it in the jar is we go a handful first, and we do this handful by handful, making sure that the cabbage is evenly getting distributed around the jar, and we're getting rid of any air bubbles that happen to be in the jar too. We want our sauerkraut to be about 2 centimeters below the top of the jar. That gives it enough room to expand while it's fermenting and for the liquid to rise. Give the jar a bit of a clean on the inside as well, so there's no like little floaty bits, the micro moldy. Then we take the leaf that we saved and we make a little leaf lid where we kind of tuck in the rest of the cabbage. It's going to be the sauerkraut. Now this stops that top part oxidizing in the first few days of fermentation. And then we use the core that we saved before as well. I'm going to put that on top. And as you can see, the brine is well and truly over the cabbage here. And then basically we put the lid on and we put it on really tight. Put this in a place out of direct sunlight for 4 weeks. It takes 4 weeks for the fermentation process to be complete and for the sauerkraut to reach the right acidity. If you're starting to include fermented foods in your diet, it's best to start slowly. If you eat too much too soon, you might end up with a grumbly tummy. The best thing to do is eat small amounts frequently. Try to incorporate different fermented foods in your diet in different ways for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
So you can do a bit of taste testing.
This one's really a different texture.
Oh wow.
It's really strong.
Actually, it gets quite addictive. It's like
Yeah.
salt and vinegar crisps. You know, it's like you like the first one, you're like, oh, and then you're like, oh, actually, I need a lot of this.